So starting off with, did you know that there was a platform that connects the Polkadot ecosystem to Ethereum, Cosmos, and all major level 1 blockchains? So Astar network is one such multi-chain smart contract platform. It supports multiple blockchains and virtual machines. And what they do is with NFTs is going to really amaze you. And we have with us tonight is the ecosystems development head, Maarten Henskens. So Maarten, it's an absolute honor to have you with us today. And they're all yours, and we are all yours to see what you have to share with us.
Okay, cool. First, can you say that you can hear me and everything is fine on my end?
Yes, absolutely, Maarten. We can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Let me start with sharing my screen. Can you also let me know if you see my screen?
We can see your screen, Maarten.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So thanks a lot for introducing me. Thanks a lot for the introduction. Thanks a lot for having me here on DotFriday. Looking forward to talking with all those, not only students, but also developers. So I will give you first an introduction about Astar, what is Astar and what set us apart from other parachains. And then I will talk a little bit about the NFT space inside of Polkadot channel. Like what can make Polkadot different regarding NFTs. And with this, I will give you a use case built around XCM. XCM is the new feature that is launched recently on Polkadot, currently already live and being utilized on different parachains. So I will give you like a use case that will be possible regarding NFTs with XCM on Polkadot and how Polkadot can make a difference regarding NFTs. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Maarten. I'm the head of ecosystem development at Astar, of Astar. It depends on which language you speak and how to pronounce it. I always call it Astar. So other people call it Astar, so it doesn't matter. So my background is I had computer science. I've also been a teacher. I've been founder from a company here in Belgium. I live in Belgium. I like working in blockchain because you can be like that traveling nomad and work inside the Web3 ecosystem all over the world. And that makes me so excited about this. To give you an overview about Astar, so we became the third parachain on Polkadot. It went live. We raised a lot of DOT during the Crowd Loan festival that we had. We also have a sister network on Kusama. This is called a Shiden network. And we recently extended our slot because the first lease period was already over, and we now have the second lease period running. So what is Astar? Astar is basically a smart contract hub on Polkadot. We are a parachain. We are providing multi-virtual machines, not only EVM, but also WASM. We have been very happy to connect with different kind of layer 1 blockchain outside of Polkadot. But this is Cosmos. We are working with Avalanche as well, and so forth. I will just go over this like quickly because I only have 20 minutes and I have so much to tell you guys. So I need to, sometimes I go over this very fast, but you can always check our website in case you want to know more specifics about other use cases at Astar. So this is an overview about our ecosystem. We are working with a lot of tooling partners. Why a lot of tooling partners? Because we are a smart contract platform, meaning that we have to make sure that all tools are available for projects to build their application on us. As you can see, the most famous ones are already there. Like we have Truffle, we have oracles, we have indexes. We are working with other standardized smart contracts like Super Colony that are doing a great job as well in the ecosystem and so on. So we made sure that the infrastructure is there at Astar regarding building on us with different kind of languages as the EVM and WASM. Before diving into the NFTs, I want to also tell you a little bit about the limitations of the old. What I mean with this, and with this I mean the current problem that we are facing, and that's basically at this point EVM and isolated blockchains. Why I'm saying EVM? EVM it's still so important, and I want to emphasize this to everyone. EVM is needed. I'm not here to say EVM is bad. No, not at all. EVM is still the king of in blockchain, but it has its limitations. As you can see here, I described some of the limitations. I will not go over them individually because it's very technical, but why is EVM still very important? It's still king in when it comes to dApp development. And so many networks are still using EVM. The simple answer is because of the developer ecosystem. There are so many tools, so many examples, so many materials, so many communities behind it. Solidity is basically the gateway for many new dApp developers. And because most blockchains with high liquidity support EVM, it makes it difficult for new layer 1 blockchains to ignore them. Yes, but there are also solutions made for this. And one of that solutions that we are creating in the Astar ecosystem is WASM. Overall, the limitations of EVM makes it very challenging for every Solidity dApp developer to create a complex use case. With more advanced use cases, smart contracts demands more complexity. This is where the WASM-based smart contracts comes in. WASM is technically a binary instruction format, and it also runs on a stack-based virtual machine and implements instructions such as V8. But for the general public and in this context, when we say WASM, we refer to a generic virtual machine that executes WASM instructions. WASM or WebAssembly is a common standard for execution native level operations from the browser environment. Why is this so important? The development of WebAssembly is led by industry leaders. So who is currently working on the development of WebAssembly or WASM? That's Google, Microsoft, Mozilla, Apple, and many more. So the power of WASM or WebAssembly, you can run any hardware incentive work such as game from the browser with near native level performance. Having said this, this is like the future as well with NFTs, for using NFTs in blockchain games or using complex NFTs utilities that really needs the scalability. And this is currently a blocker with EVM. And we think that WASM or WebAssembly smart contracts can solve this kind of problem. And that can be the standard for future NFTs use cases as well. So in this slide that you now see here, you see like having WebAssembly together with blockchains. Basically, you have Substrate with Ink. Substrate, the framework for Polkadot, and Ink, the language designed by Dr. Gavin Woods, the founder of Polkadot. So let me go to the next slides. So here you can see one of the major advantages of using WASM. It can compile from different kind of languages. Why we still believe that WASM is like so powerful for smart contracts, because not only it compiles from different languages, but it can be the gateway for a whole new range of developers coming into the Web3 space. Why is this? Because if you look at major IPs, major already gaming industries and so on, they already got like developers building with certain languages. And those languages can easily be compiled into WASM. And that WASM can be compiled into WASM smart contracts and can be deployed on the blockchain. So a major company doesn't need to look for blockchain developers, but can actually use their inside developer team at that moment to already gain access into the blockchain. And this can be great for new games coming out, finding big partners coming into the blockchain with NFTs and so on as well. Another solution that we at Astar bring is dApp staking. This can be very interesting for all those developers who are now listening in. So with dApp staking, we have a mechanism designed where users can stake on applications or on NFT collections in our network. And you as a developer or as an artist can earn staking rewards based on this. So this is another way of incentivize those people who are building inside of our network. This is like an example of how it looks. This is an example of the wallets that we are working with. I can say, check out our website to understand more about dApp staking. Check out our website to understand more about how we utilize WASM, how we also integrate with EVM and the toolings that are available. So this, what I just did now is giving you a short overview about Astar. What I'm now going to tell you is the third solution, and the one that I want to use my time for during this presentation of how NFTs can be, or how Polkadot can be the future for NFTs. And with this, I come to my third solution, and that's the XCM. So XCM is one of the core features in the Polkadot ecosystem. Every parachain connected to the relay chain can benefit not only the shared security, but also XCM, cross-chain messaging parsing. We at Astar, we see the future of blockchain to be more integrated with each other. Blockchains will grow not just based on their ecosystem or the utility within the application, but to the utility that they can provide to other blockchains. We will see less competition within the same blockchains, but more cooperation between networks and communities. We want Astar Network to be like the hub of innovation, that project that can be written in various languages and use features from other parachains to create unique experience. We want to have applications built on us that are using parachains as a service to build on top of us. So I have thought about a use case of Advanced NFT with XCM and what the future can bring for this. It can be very technical, but we will soon at Astar release our vision regarding XCM, where everything is more well written and very explainable for everyone to understand how we see our vision of XCM inside the Polkadot ecosystem. And with this, I want to give you like an example, and that's like a universal NFT marketplace using Statement, using Infinity, using Unique Network, using other NFT projects currently already built in the DotFriday ecosystem. So one of the major problems with Polkadot ecosystem at this moment, it's very highly fragmented standards among projects, especially in NFTs. Why is this? Because Substrate framework already supports EVM standards, supports WASM contract standards, and also different kind of palette level NFTs. To be precise, currently we have the Substrate Uniques palette, we have the ORML NFT palette, we have the ERC 721 on EVM, we have the PSP 34 on WASM contracts, and several custom-made NFT palettes from certain networks, like what Remark is doing, like what the Unique Network is doing. So all those standards are not compatible with one each other in a traditional sense, and the users will have a hard time managing all those NFTs from all those single different kind of places. As well as developers will have problems trying to create a generic solutions for managing all NFTs throughout the ecosystem. This is because before XCM, parachains and projects in the Polkadot ecosystem were very isolated, without any need of palette standardization. This is something that I also mentioned in the problems, the isolated blockchains. And this was before XCM. This was when Polkadot, when Kusama launched, there was just the isolated blockchain. Everyone was working on their utility, everyone was working on their use cases, and everyone was also at that moment isolated. But now with XCM, we can bring it all together. And because of the lack of the standardization, this allows projects to customize and rethink the fundamental concept of NFT to create some kind of innovative solution. And this hurts interoperability in the long run. For example, we have like an NFT minted on a parachain, which uses a unique NFT palette and has custom functionalities, and only those functionalities will be available on that network. So the moment you teleport that NFT to another parachain, it will lose the functionalities, and basically it will lose all the utility and features behind it. And with XCM and advanced XCM later on, where this will be released as well, this can all be solved, and this can all be, all the NFTs from all those different places can be just used and built together. Let me give you like an overview about a diagram I created, how it can look like. Just you see a lot of maybe difficult understanding, difficult technical naming or identifications here, but I will try to do my best to make this diagram explainable so you can guys understand what I'm trying to create here with an idea about a marketplace. So our Astar network is a blockchain that supports multiple smart contracts environments. We have EVM and we have WASM. We also have multiple standards. So we believe that Astar network is capable of becoming the common denominator for various NFTs throughout the ecosystem. And we believe that there is a way to gather all NFTs in the ecosystem into a single universal marketplace that allows anyone to trade, sell, and purchase NFT from Astar network without losing any custom functionalities that are only available on that certain chain. I'm not talking in the we sentence, but basically this is just a use case and an idea that can be built. So this gives, I want to give like inspiration to developers who are listening here to see the features that will be available with XCM and how you can be now at the starting point of XCM and creating that unique dApp Web3 application that can be used later on in the long term on Polkadot. So this use case is not something that I'm telling you now that is currently in development. No, it's just an idea how XCM can be used. So let's say we have an NFT marketplace dApp and it supports NFTs in both WASM and EVM. In this case, we are bringing ERC 721 NFTs from a foreign chain to the Astar marketplace and can easily teleport those NFTs because with the ERC 721, there's nothing especially behind that or special utilities behind this. You can easily teleport those smart contracts through the ecosystem. Alternatively, the NFT marketplace dApp could start to integrate directly with the other chain without other chain and so become like a multi-chain marketplace. And the same can be with the PSP34 NFTs. This is like, so the ERC 721 is Solidity smart contracts and the PSP34 is the WASM smart contracts, both standards for the NFTs, basic NFTs smart contracts. However, in this applicable for NFTs that are stored on the pallet level without losing certain features or creating a without losing those features, we need to do something else. So if you look at the diagram here, so if you want to use like remork NFTs, if you want to use the unique palettes, if you want to use NFTs into the metaverse, it's not just teleporting because otherwise you will lose these special features that NFT has. So how can this be solved? Let me just look back. So if we use XCM, the way to enable a full marketplace access without losing any custom features of the foreign network, we can do this by creating an XCM NFT controller contract that shares the PSP34 and the 1155 interface. So the controller contract will contain the asset metadata and ownership data of the NFT that exists in the foreign network state, and effectively create a shallow copy to the original asset on a Astar network. So the owner of the original NFT can sign the transaction for the controller contract, and this will initiate a remote transfer on the foreign parent chain, which the original exists, which the original NFT exists, and transfer the NFT on behalf of the owner, and the controller contract will change the owner of the asset accordingly. Like I was saying, this is very difficult maybe for students now to see where all those standards that I'm saying here now, but we have very high quality documentation that will explain all those standards as well. So the way we have the full metadata of the NFT and the ownership proof in those smart contracts compatible format on a Astar network. So users can interact with NFTs from various networks with the same account without losing the unique features the NFT might have since the ownership of the original assets. So it will be the same as the mirrored ownership on our network, on a Astar network. Furthermore, developers will only have to integrate with the Astar RPC and implement the PSP34, the 1155, and the ERC 721 interface to access all the NFTs throughout the Polkadot ecosystem. So, but this, like what I'm saying here, or what you see now in this diagram, is just the tip of the iceberg on how developers on a Astar network can leverage the power of XCM. This is what I'm saying here is on smart contract level and on pallet level, but this can also be on other things. You can see this as well with the NFT Fi. You can have an NFT minted on a Star network and added liquidity from Moonbeam or Hydra X with your NFT as well. This is also utilizing the XCM in the Polkadot ecosystem. But like I was saying, it's just the tip of the iceberg what will be possible with using the power of XCM and how parachains can work together to create an innovative one-of-a-kind dApp. So with the right tools, with the right mindset and progress from the ecosystem, we believe that this will be the future for dApps in networks of blockchains and create Polkadot ecosystem the place to be for NFTs. We are still in the early phases of XCM. We are still opening channels with other parachains as well. So we are opening channels with we at Astar with Moonbeam, with Akala, other NFT parachains as well. And then later on in the longer term, everyone will see the fully use case of XCM with NFTs. And we think that with WASM, smart contracts, with XCM, Polkadot really can be the place for all NFTs being built in the blockchain ecosystems. I said everything that I wanted to say. So if you're interested in knowing more about the Astar network, feel free to visit the Startup Network. Are you a developer and want to build with us? See our website, find more information about our Builders program, how how we can support you with building your application, building your dApp on a Star network. We are more than happy to provide you with all the information. We are more than happy to provide you with all the support needed. So thanks a lot for the organization of Polkadot India for having me here. Yeah. And I wish everyone a great weekend as well to end this up.
Sure. Thanks, Maarten. This was very crisp and clear. I think you have pretty much covered all aspects that you're covering at Astar. We have a couple of questions for you, though, from the audience. If we can take it one by one. Yeah.
So, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Great. The first one is by Greg from Unique Networks. So he says, so WebAssembly is used to write smart contracts. The language is called Ink. It generates smart contract binary in WebAssembly for most parachains. If they support EVM, you can also write smart contracts in Solidity. I think it's more of a statement, right? Greg,
yeah, so indeed. Yeah. So what Greg is saying, indeed. So the language that we support for the WASM is Ink, the language that written by Gavin Wood as well. So what's currently, so the Ink is, or the contract platform parity can actually be integrated by all parachains if they want. The current situation now with Ink and the WASM in general on Polkadot is that it's missing some tooling to be used as well. So this is something that we are now focusing on, creating those toolings for the WebAssembly smart contracts. And indeed, you can also write WebAssembly with Solidity. You can compile them with Solang. So if you have a Solidity contract, you compile your contract into WebAssembly. It still has some limitations because not everything will be covered with Solang, but it's possible to do so. Yes.
Yeah. I think I kind of misunderstood also, like, thanks for adding on to that. So Greg was also responding to someone. So great. I think both of you have really helped someone today. Another question we have here is if you can give us some of your views on XCM, Maarten.
My views of XCM is basically XCM, how it's designed, how it's written out, is really the infrastructure that can be used for how I see Web3 being built. That's why I'm saying, like, so how XCM is using, so as you know, Polkadot with the relay chain is connecting all those blockchains together. We see it as like, if you want to build a dApp that will utilize all the utilities from all the other parachains, that's why I'm calling it more like a parachain as a service. If you want to have like a dApp and you want to use Kilt for the compliance, you can integrate with Kilt and get this done. If you want the special NFTs with the special use cases, you can call Unique Networks palette. If you want interaction with another dApp that is built on Moonbeam, you can interact with that asset from Moonbeam. It's like XCM will be there to help the Web3 being evolved, and the end user will never see this or will not feel this in the same way because everything will be in the back end. But I think the vision is around XCM can really be like the layer that will be there for Web3, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, all right. Okay, I'll just avoid a couple of questions which are a little generic. Akhilesh asked, why are NFTs so expensive? Like, there are so many reasons to it, but Maarten, since you're one of the global leaders out here, so what is your take on the values of NFTs today on a personal level? Yeah.
I see NFTs like art. Why is a painting of Van Gogh so expensive? It's the market that's deciding the price. That's the same with NFTs. Why is some NFTs more expensive? Because the market will pay for that NFT, and that's what makes it so expensive. Most NFT collections, I see them more as art, but when I was saying like more in the future for NFTs, it's all about utility the NFT can bring that will give you the value of the NFT.
Yeah.
We still have a long way to go, but yeah.
Okay, super. Very subjective again. The next one is by Fahad, if I'm not wrong. What's the benefit of compiling Solidity smart contract to WASM?
Difficult to tell now, because it depends on what kind of contract you want to compile from Solidity to WASM. It also depends what kind of use cases you want to have with your smart contract as well. So it's all based on the use cases and the complexity you want to have in your smart contracts. If you want to build on the WASM environment, you can compile your Solidity contract to WebAssembly. But if you really are making like a unique application, a unique dApp built with WASM, check out the Ink documentation that's currently available on Substrate, and just try to understand the language of Rust, try to understand the language of Ink to see like the real power that can be behind it, that's currently the EVM limitations has.
Okay, that's great sense. Okay, we have a couple of more. Where did this go? Okay, with AI integrations now in the picture, Maarten, the NFT market is set to open up new opportunities for users in decentralized markets. What are your views on this?
My views on this, I think AI and NFTs is still like very early. So there's still so much that can be happening with this. So yeah, I'm more of the person that let's try to build it and let's wait and see how it goes, because the possibilities are endless. And yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, on that note, the following question actually is interesting, but what are the most sought after NFT features, Maarten?
Can you rephrase the question, please?
What are the most sought after NFT features, like in the current market scenario? So if NFTs have specific features that are highlighted that sell the most, so what are those most sought after? Is it design, or is it, what is it in your eyes?
In my eyes, so I like art. I like artists that are doing something great with NFTs. That's okay. I'm totally fine with it. I know that there are like great manga IPs as well who are doing like great NFTs designs and great NFTs. But for me, it's all about utility that an NFT can bring for me personally to use it. This can be like several use cases that are available. You can use it as token gating. You can use it as a social pass. You can use it for so many things. You can use it for giving a fan of you extra benefits by coming to a concert or things. I don't know, so many things. But for me, an NFT and blockchain is all about utility. I do admire all those artists as well. I don't want to exclude them. But for me, I prefer having or using NFTs with great utilities behind it. What can it be? It depends on. I want to use an NFT that I can use in my daily life in general with my wallet. That's what I want to have.
Great. I think that makes absolute sense, some purpose to it. So thanks, Maarten. I think this is it from our end. It was just lovely having you out here. I think we'll stay in touch for more we can do together with Astar as a partner. And yeah, wishing you and the entire Astar team all the luck for the exciting times ahead of you.
Thanks a lot for having me, Anaya. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Maarten.